And okay, I think we'll start at 11 for today's movie. Today, morning, everyone. Thank you so much for
Your
joining.
voice is breaking. Your voice is breaking.
Oh, mm-hmm. Okay. Now,
No,
see the screen?
we can see the screen, but your voice is breaking. If you're
No
trying to
problem. No
see
problem.
anything.
No problem. No problem. You can start. Start reading.
Okay. Chapter 10. Communication is not about speaking, it's about listening. Martin Luther King Jr., a man who would become a symbol of the entire civil rights movement, chose to deliver his famous I Have a Dream speech in front of another symbol, the Lincoln Memorial. Like King, Lincoln stands, or in the case of the memorial, sits as a symbol of the American value of freedom for all. Great societies understand the importance of symbols as a way of reinforcing their values, of capturing their beliefs. Dictators understand the importance of symbols all too well, but in their case, the symbols are usually of them and not of a larger belief. Symbols help us make tangible that which is intangible. And the only reason symbols have meaning is because we infuse them with meaning. That meaning lives in our minds, not in the item itself. Only when the purpose, cause, or belief is clear can a symbol command great power. The flag, for example, is nothing more than a symbol of our nation's values and beliefs, and we follow the flag into battle. That's some serious power. Ever notice the patch of the American flag on a soldier's arm? It's backward. There was no mistake made. It's like that on purpose, a flag flying on a staff as an army was rushing into battle would appear backward if viewed from the right side. Wow. To put it the other way around, on the right shoulder would appeal as if the soldier were in retreat. Our flag is infused with so much meaning that some have tried to pass laws banning its desecration. It's not the material out of which the flag is sewn that these patriots aim to protect. The laws they propose have nothing to do with the destruction of property. Their goal is to protect the meaning the symbol represents, the why. The laws they drafted tried to protect the intangible set of values and beliefs by protecting the symbol of those values and beliefs. Though the laws have been struck down by the Supreme Court, they have spurred contentious and emotionally charged debates. They pit our desire for freedom of expression with our desire to protect a symbol of that freedom. Ronald Reagan, the great communicator, knew all too well the power of symbols. In 1982, he was the first president to invite a hero to sit in the balcony of the House chamber during the State of the Union address, a tradition that has continued every year since. A man who exuded optimism, Reagan knew the value of symbolizing the values of America instead of just talking about them. His guest, who sat with the First Lady, was Lenny Skutnik, a government employee who had dived into the icy Potomac just days before to save a woman who had fallen from a helicopter that was attempting to rescue her after an Air Florida plane crashed into the river. Reagan was trying to make a point that words are hollow, but deeds and values are deep. After he told Skutnik's story, he waxed. Don't let anyone tell you that America's best days are behind her, that the American spirit has been vanquished. We have seen it triumph too often in our lives to stop believing it in now. Skutnik became Reagan's symbol of courage. Most companies have logos, but few have been able to convert those logos into meaningful symbols. Because most companies are bad at communicating what they believe, So it follows that most logos are devoid of any meaning. At best, they serve as icons to identify a company and its product. A symbol cannot have any deep meaning until we know why it exists in terms bigger than simply to identify the company. Without clarity of why, a logo is just a logo. To say that a logo stands for quality, service, innovation, and the like only reinforces its status as just a logo. These qualities are about the company and not about the cause. Don't forget the dictators. They understand the power of symbols, except the symbols are often of them. Likewise, so many companies act like dictators. It's all about them and what they want. They tell us what to do, they tell us what we need, they tell us they have the answers, but they do not inspire us and they do not command our loyalty. And to take the analogy a step further, the way dictators maintain their power is through fear, reward, and every other manipulation they can think of. People follow dictators not because they want to, but because they have to. For companies to be perceived as a great leaders and not dictators, all their symbols, including their logos, need to stand for something in which we can all believe, something we can all support that takes clarity, discipline, and consistency. For a logo to become a symbol, people must be inspired to use that logo to say something about who they are. Quoted fashion labels are the most obvious example of this. People use them. Rajesh, please scroll. People use them to demonstrate status, but many of them are somewhat generic in what they symbolize. There is a more profound example, Harley Davidson. There are people who walk around with the Harley Davidson tattoos on their bodies. That's insane. They have tattooed a corporate logo on their skin. Some of them don't even own the product. Why would rational people tattoo a corporate logo on their bodies? The reason is simple. After years of Harley being crystal clear about what they believe, after years of being disciplined about a set of values and guiding principles, and after years of being doggedly consistent about everything they say and do, their logo has become a symbol. It no longer simply identifies a company and its product, it identifies a belief. In truth, most people who tattoo Harley Davidson logos on their bodies have no idea what the stock price of Harley is. They have no idea about some management shakeup the week before. That symbol is no longer about Harley. The logo embodies an entire value set of their own. The symbol is no longer about Harley, it's about them. Randy Fowler, a former US Marine and now general manager of a Harley Davidson dealership in California, proudly sports a large Harley tattoo on his left arm. It symbolizes who I am. He says, mostly it says, I am an American. Customer and company are now Customer and company are now one and the same. The meaning of Harley Davidson has value in people's lives because for those who believe in Harley's why, it helps them express the meaning of their own lives. Because of Harley's clarity, discipline, and consistency, most will know what that symbol means, even if you don't subscribe to it yourself. That's the reason why when someone walks into a bar with a big Harley logo on his arm, we take a step back and give him a wide berth. The symbol has become so meaningful, in fact, that 12% of Harley Davidson revenues are strictly from merchandising. That's remarkable. It's not just logos, however, that can serve as symbols. Symbols are any tangible representation of a clear set of values and beliefs. An ink-stained finger that Iraqis was, sorry, for an ink-stained finger for Iraqis was a symbol of a new beginning. A London double-decker bus or a cowboy hat, both are symbols of national cultures. But national symbols are easy because most nations have a clear sense of culture that has been reinforced and repeated for generations. It is not a company or organization that decides what its symbol means. It is No. You have scrolled further. Just scroll it down. It is not a company or organization that decides what its symbols mean. It is the group outside the megaphone in the chaotic marketplace who decide. If, based on the things they see and hear, the outsiders can clearly and consistently report what an organization believes. Then and only then can a symbol start to take on meaning. It is the truest test of how effective a megaphone has been produced. When clarity is able to filter all the way through the organization and come to life in everything that comes out of it. Go back to Apple's 1984 commercial at the beginning of chapter 9. For those who have seen it, does it make you think about Apple and its product, or do you simply like the sentiment? Or the line, think different, does it speak to you? If you are a Mac customer, you probably love this commercial. It may even give you goosebumps when you watch it. A surefire test that the why is connecting with you on a visceral or limbic level. In fact, this commercial, after you learned it was from Apple, may have reinforced your decision to buy a Mac, whether for the first time or the 10th time. This commercial, like all Apple's advertising, is one of the things Apple has said or done that reinforces what they believe. It is every bit consistent with the clear belief we know they embody. And if the commercial speaks to you and you are not an Apple lover, odds are you still like the idea of thinking differently. The message of that ad is one of the things Apple does to tell their story. It is one of the what's to their why. It is a symbol. It is for these reasons that we say of a piece of advertising, it really speaks to me. It's not really speaking to you, it's speaking to the millions of people who saw the ad. When we say that something like that speaks to me, what we are really saying is, through all this clutter and noise, I can hear that. I can hear it and I will listen. This is what it means for a message that comes out of the megaphone to resonate. Everything that comes out of the base of the megaphone serves as a way for an organization to articulate what it believes. What a company says and does are the means by which the company speaks. Too many companies put a disproportionate amount of weight on their products or services simply because those are the things that bring in the money. But there are many more things at the base of the megaphone that play an equal role in speaking to the outside world. Though products may drive sales, they alone cannot create loyalty. In fact, a company can create loyalty among people who aren't even customers. I spoke favorably of Apple long before I bought one, and I spoke despairingly of a certain PC brand, even though I had been buying their products for years. Apple's clarity, discipline, and consistency, their ability to build a megaphone, not a company that is clear and loud, is what has given them the ability to command such loyalty. They are accused of having a cult like following. Those inside the company are often accused of following the cult of Steve. All of these compliments or insults are indications that others have taken on the cause and made it their own. That experts describe their products and marketing as a lifestyle reinforces that people who love Apple products are using what Apple does to demonstrate their own personal identity. We call it lifestyle marketing because people have integrated commercial products into the style of their lives. Apple, with great efficiency, built a perfectly clear megaphone, leveraged the law of diffusion, and invited others to help spread the gospel, not for the company, for themselves. Even their promotions and partnerships serve as tangible proof of what they believe. In 2003 and 2004, Apple ran a promotion for iTunes with Pepsi, the cola branded as the choice of the next generation. It made sense that Apple would do a deal with Pepsi, the primary challenger to Coca Cola, the status quo. Everything Apple does, everything they say and do, serves as tangible proof of what they believe. The reason I use Apple so extensively throughout this book is that Apple is so disciplined in how they do things and so consistent in what they do that. Love them or hate them, we all have a sense of their why. We know what they believe. Communication is not about speaking, it's listening. Most of us didn't read books about them. We don't personally know Steve Jobs. We haven't spent time roaming the halls of Apple's headquarters to get to know their culture. The clarity we have for what Apple believes come from one place and one place only, Apple. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And Apple says and does only the things they believe. If what you do doesn't prove what you believe, then no one will know what your why is, and you will be forced to compete on price, service, quality, features, and benefits, the stuff of commodities. Apple has a clear and loud megaphone and is exceptionally good at communicating its story. The celery test. In order to improve how and what we do, we constantly look to what others are doing. We attend conferences, read books, talk to friends and colleagues to get their input and advice. And sometimes we are also the dispensers of advice. We are in pursuit of understanding the best practices of others to help guide us. But it is a flawed assumption that what works for an organization will work for another. Even if the industry's sizes and market conditions are the same, the notion that if it's good for them, it's good for us is simply not true. I know of a company with an amazing culture. When asked, the employees say they love that all the conference rooms have ping pong tables in them. Does that mean that if you were to put ping pong tables in all your conference rooms, your culture would improve? Of course not. But this is an example of best practices. The idea that copying what or how things are done at high performing organizations will inherently work for you is just not true. Like the Ferrari and the Honda, what is good for one company is not necessarily good for another. Put simply, best practices are not always best. It is not just what or how you do things that matters. What matters more is that what and how you do things is consistent with your why. Only then will your practices indeed be best. There is nothing inherently wrong with looking to others to learn what they do. The challenge is knowing what practices or advice to follow. Fortunately, there is a simple test you can apply to find out exactly what and how is right for you. It's a simple metaphor called the celery test. Imagine you go to a dinner party and somebody comes up to you and says, "You know what you need in your organization? M&Ms. And if you are not using M&Ms in your business, you are leaving money on the table." Somebody else comes up to you and says, "You know what you need? Rice milk. The data shows that all the people are buying rice milk these days. You should be selling rice milk in this economy." While you are standing over the punch bowl, yet another person offers some sage advice. "Oreo cookies," he says. "We made millions from implementing Oreo cookies in our organization. You have got to do it." Still, somebody else comes up to you and says, "Celery. You have got to get into celery." You get all these great advice from all these highly accomplished people. Some of them are in the same industry. Some of them are more successful than you. Some of them have offered similar advice to others with great success. Now, what do? You go to the supermarket and you buy celery, rice milk, Oreos, and M&Ms. You spend a lot of time at the supermarket walking the aisles. You spend a lot of money because you buy everything. But you may or may not get any value from some or all of these products. There are no guarantees. Worse, if you are budget constrained, you had to whittle down your choices again. And then, which do you choose? But one thing's for sure, when you are standing in line at the supermarket with all of these items in your arms, your celery, rice milk, Oreos and M&Ms, nobody can see what you believe. What you do is suppose serve as a tangible proof of what you believe. And you bought everything. But what if you knew your why before you went to the supermarket? What if your why is to do only things that are healthy, to always do the things that are good for your body? You will get all the same good advice from all the same people. The only difference is the next time you go to the supermarket, you will buy only rice, milk, and celery. Those are the only products that make sense. It's not that the other advice isn't good advice. It's just not good for you. The advice doesn't fit. Filtering your decisions through your why, you spend less time at the supermarket and you spend less money. So there is an efficiency advantage also. You are guaranteed to get value out of all the products you bought. And most importantly, when you are standing in line with your products in your arms, everybody can see what you believe. With only celery and rice milk, it's obvious to people walking by what you believe. I can see that you believe in looking after your health. They may say to you, I feel the same way. I have a question for you. Congratulations, you just attracted a customer, an employee, a partner, or a referral simply by making the right decisions. Simply ensuring that what you do proves what you believe makes it easy for those who believe what you believe to find you. You have successfully communicated your why based on what you do. This is an idealistic concept, and in the real world, that level of discipline is not always possible. I understand that sometimes we have to make short term decisions to pay bills or get some short term advantage, that's fine. The celery test still applies. If you want a piece of chocolate cake, go right ahead. The difference is when you start with why, you know full well that the chocolate cake is a short term decision that doesn't fit with your beliefs. You are under no illusions. You know you are only doing it for the short term rush, and you will have to work a little harder to get it out of your system. It's astounding the number of businesses I see that view an opportunity as the one that's going to set them on a path of glory, only to have it blow up or slowly deflate over time. They see the chocolate cake and can't resist. Starting with why not only helps you know which is the right advice for you to follow, but also to know which decisions will put you out of balance. You can certainly make those decisions if you need to, but don't make two. Many of them, otherwise, over time, no one will know what you believe. Does anyone want to read from here? Taken a long time.
Yes, Anjali, I may read, yes. But here is the best part. As soon as I told you the why, you knew that we were going to buy only celery and rice milk even before you read it. As soon as I gave you the filter, as soon as I said the why, you knew exactly what decisions to make before I said so. That is called scale. With a why clearly stated in an organization, anyone within the organization can make a decision as clearly and as accurately as the founder. A why provides the clear filter for decision making. Any decisions, hiring, partnerships, strategies, and tactics should all pass the salary test. The more salary you use, the more trust you earn. Mark Rubin is a good parent. He spends a lot of time with his two daughters, Lucy and Sophie. One Saturday afternoon, his wife, Claudine, took Lucy to a friend's for a play date, and Mark was left home to look after 5-year-old Sophie. Feeling a little tired, Mark really wanted to just have a little time to relax on the couch and not have to play treehouse again for the ninth time that day. To keep Sophie occupied, he opted for the TV as babysitter. Mark had two brand new DVDs to choose from. He had seen neither of them and heard nothing about either of them in the press or from any of his friends with small children. Mark did not feel like watching the cartoon himself. The plan was to let Sophie enjoy the movie in one room while he watched something in the other room. One of the DVDs was from some company he had never heard of, and the other was from Disney. Which one did he put in the DVD player? Which one would you put in the DVD player? The answer is so clear, it verges on a silly question. But let's consider the facts for fun. Both DVDs were cartoons. Both were age appropriate for a child. Both had a couple of good reviews on the packaging. The only difference is that we trust the DVD from Disney. Disney is not a perfect company. They occasionally have management and leadership issues. Their stock price sometimes goes down. They have lawsuits filed against them all the time. Some would lump them in with all the other nasty corporations that work to appease Wall Street. So, why would we trust them? Disney operates with a clear sense of why. They exist to promote good, clean family fun, and everything they say and do has for decades worked to prove it. The reason we trust Disney is simple. We know what they believe. They pass the salary test. They have been so consistent over time in everything they say and do that parents trust them enough to expose their children to Disney content without vetting it first. This has nothing to do with quality products. This is not rational. Southwest Airlines also passes the salary test. The company has been so consistent over time that we almost know what to expect from them. The airline offers only open seating on its flights. For example, it is one of the things they do to prove that they believe in freedom. It just makes sense. A company that serves the common man and values equality for all so much could never have a class structure. If Delta or United or Continental tried to do the same, it would not make sense. Open seating doesn't fit their way. In violation of salary, Birkenstock sandals, tie-dyed t-shirts, daisy chains, and VW van all are symbols of the hippie ideals of peace, love, and all things vegetarian. So it was a bit of surprise in 2004 when Volkswagen introduced a $70,000 luxury model to their lineup. The company, famous for putting a vase for fresh flowers on the dashboard of their new Beetle, introduced the Phaeton in an attempt to compete with high-end luxury cars, including the Mercedes-Benz S-Class and the BMW 7 Series. The V8 335 horsepower car boasted some of the most advanced features in the industry, like an air compressor suspension system and a draftless four-zone climate control. It even included an electronically controlled shiatsu message system in the seats. The car was an astounding achievement. It was very comfortable and was a monster on the road, outperforming other more established luxury cars in its class. The critics loved it, but there was a small problem. Despite all the facts and figures, features and benefits, and regardless of the world-renowned German engineering, few people bought one. It just didn't make sense. What VW had done was inconsistent with what we knew them to believe. Volkswagen, which translated means people's car, had spent generations making cars for you and me. Everyone knew what VW stood for: power to the people. It brought its cause to life in products that were all about quality, that the average person could afford. In a single swoop of German ingenuity, VW had been put completely out of balance. This is not like Dell coming out with an MP3 player or United starting the low-cost airline TED. In those cases, we had no idea what the company's why were. Absent any knowledge or feeling for their why, we could not bring ourselves to buy products from them that went anything beyond what they do. In this case, VW has a clear why, but what they produced was completely misaligned. They failed the salary test. Toyota and Honda knew this better than Volkswagen. When they decided to add luxury models to their lineups, they created new brands, Lexus and Acura respectively, to do it. Toyota had become a symbol of efficiency and affordability to the general population. They had built their business on a suite of low-cost cars. They knew that the market would not pay a premium for a luxury car with the same name or with the same logo on the hood. Although a luxury car, Lexus is still another what to Toyota's why. It still embodies the same cause as the Toyota branded cars, and the value of the company are the same. The only difference is what they are doing to bring that cause to life. The good news is VW hasn't made the same mistake again, and their why remains clear. But if a company tries too many times to seize market opportunities inconsistent with their why over time, their why will go fuzzy and their ability to inspire and command loyalty will deteriorate. What companies say and do matters a lot. It is at the what level that a cause is brought to life. It is at this level that a company speaks to the outside world. And it is then that we can learn what the company believes.
So we come to end of this chapter,
Okay,
and
great.
this new chapter begins, part 5. Tim, do you want to continue the new chapter, or can we end the session for today's part with that reading? Because 200, part 5, the biggest challenge is success.
I think we can read 5 pages.
Yes, we have 10-15 minutes more to
Okay,
read.
fine. So who would like to continue?
Anybody
I
wants
can.
to read? Yes, yes,
I,
please go ahead.
the biggest challenge is success. When why goes fuzzy, scroll down. A lot of what goes on these days with high flying companies and these overpaid CEOs who are really just looting from the top and are not watching out for anybody but themselves really upsets me. It is one of the main things wrong with American business today. This is the sentiment passed down from the founder of one of the most vilified companies in recent history. Raised on a farm in America's heartland, he came of age during the Great Depression. This probably explained his predisposition for frugality. Standing 5 feet 9 inches and weighing only 130 pounds when he played football in high school, Sam Walton, the founder of Walmart, learned early the value of working hard. Working hard leads to winning. And as the quarterback on his high school football team, he won a lot. In fact, they went on to become state champs. Whether through hard work, luck, or just an unflappable optimism. Walton got so used to winning all the time that he could not fully visualize what losing looked like. He simply could not imagine it. Walton even philosophized that always thinking about winning probably became a self-fulfilling prophecy for him. Even during the Depression, he had a highly successful paper route that earned him a decent wage for the Times. By the time Sam Walton died, he had taken Walmart from a single store in Bentonville, Arkansas, and turned it into a retail colossus with 44 billion in annual sales, with 40 million people shopping in the stores per week. But it takes more than a competitive nature, a strong work ethic, and a sense of optimism to build a company big enough to equal the 23rd largest economy in the world. Walton was not the first person with big dreams to start a small business. Many small businesses owners dream of making it big. I met a lot of entrepreneurs, and it is amazing how many of them tell me their goal is to build a $1 billion company. The odds, however, are significantly stacked against them. There are 27.7 million registered businesses in the United States today, and only a thousand of them get to be Fortune 1000 companies, which these days require about 1.5 billion in annual revenues. That means that less than 0.004% of all the companies make it to the illustrious list. To have such an impact, to build a company to a size where it can drive markets requires something more. Sam Walton did not invent the low-cost shopping model. The five the five and dime variety store concept had existed for decades, and Kmart and Target opened their doors the same year as Walmart in 1962. Discounting was already a 2 billion industry when Walton decided to build his first Walmart. There was plenty of competition beyond Kmart and Target, some of it much better funded and with better locations and seemingly better opportunities for success than Walmart. Sam Walton did not even invent a better way of doing things than everyone else. He admitted to borrowing many of his ideas about the business from Sol Price, the founder of FedMart, a retail discounter founded in Southern California during the 1950s. When why goes fuzzy, Walmart was not the only retail establishment capable of offering lower price either. Price, as we have already established, is a highly effective manipulation, but it alone does not inspire people to root for you and give you the undying loyalty needed to create a tipping point to grow to massive proportions. Being cheap does not inspire employees to give their blood, sweat, and tears. Walmart did not have a lock on cheap prices, and cheap prices are not what made it so beloved and ultimately so successful. For Sam Walton, there was something else, a deeper purpose, cause, or belief that drove him more than anything else. Walton believed in people. He believed that if he looked after people, people would look after him. The more Walmart could give to employees, customers, and community, the more that employees, customers, and the community would give back to Walmart. We are all working together. That is the secret, said Walton. This was a much bigger concept than simply passing on the savings. To Walton, the inspiration came not simply from customer service but from service itself. Walmart was what Walton built to serve his fellow human beings, to serve the community, to serve employees, and to serve customers. Service was a higher cause. The problem was that his cause was not clearly handed down after he died. In the post Sam era, Walmart slowly started to confuse why it existed, to serve people with how it did business, to offer low prices. They traded the inspiring cause of serving people for a manipulation. They forgot Walton's why, and their driving motivation became all about cheap. In stark contrast to the founding cause that Walmart originally embodied, efficiency and margins became the name of the game. A computer can tell you down to the dime what you have sold, but it can never tell you how much you could have sold. How much you could have sold, said Walton. There is always a price to pay for the money you make, and given Walmart's sheer size, That cost was not paid in dollars and cents alone. In Walmart's, can you scroll up? In Walmart case, forgetting their founder's why has come at a very high human cost. Ironic, considering the company's founding core. The company, once renowned for how it treated employees and customers, has been scandal ridden for nearly a decade. Nearly every scandal has centered on how poorly they treat their customers and their employees. As of December 2008, Walmart faced 73 class action lawsuits related to wage violations and has already paid hundreds of millions of dollars in past judgments and settlements. A company that believed in the symbolic relationship between corporation and community managed to thrive for wedge between themselves and so many of the communities which they operate. There was a time when legislators would help pass laws to allow Walmart into new communities. Now lawmakers rally to keep them out. Fights to block Walmart from opening new stores have erupted across the country. In New York, for example, city representatives in Brooklyn joined forces with labor unions to block the store because of Walmart's reputation for unfair labor practices. In one of the more ironic violations of Walton's founding beliefs, Walmart has been unable to laugh at itself or learn from its scandals. Celebrate your success, said Walton. Find some humor in your failures. Don't take yourself so seriously. Loosen up, and everybody around you will loosen up. Instead of admitting that things are not what they used to be, Walmart has done the opposite. The way Walmart thinks, acts, and communicates since the passing of their inspired leader is not a result of their competitor outsmarting them either. Kmart filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection in 2002 and then merged with Sears 3 years later. With about 400 billion in annual sales, Walmart still sells more than 6 times as much as Target each year. In fact, looking beyond discount retailing, Walmart is now the largest supermarket in the world and sells more DVDs, bicycles, and toys than any other company in America. Outside competition is not what is hurting their company. The greatest challenge Walmart has faced over the years comes from one place itself. For Walmart, what they do, how they are doing it has not changed, and it has changed nothing to do with Walmart being corporation. They were one of those before the love started decline. What has changed is that their why went fuzzy, and we all know it. A company once so loved is simply not as loved anymore. The negative feelings we have for the company are real, but the part of the brain that is able to explain why we feel so negatively towards them for trouble explaining what changed. So we rationalized, so we rationalize and point to the most tangible things we can see, size and money. If we, as outsiders, have lost clarity of Walmart's why, it is a good sign that the why has gone fuzzy inside the company also. If it is not clear on the inside, it will never be clear on the outside. Can you scroll up? What is clear is that the Walmart of today is not the Walmart that Sam Walton built. So what happened? It is too easy to say that all they care about is their bottom line. All companies are in business to make money, but being successful at it is the reason why things change so drastically. That only points to a symptom. Without understanding the reason it happened in the first place, the pattern will repeat for every other company that makes it big. It is not destiny or some mystical business cycle that transforms successful companies into impersonal Goliaths. It is people being
Okay, thank you.
successful.
Wait. Thank you, Manish ji. I think this time is 7:48,
Yeah.
and if we continue, then it will go beyond 8 o'clock. Then we will not have enough time to discuss. We can stop reading for today's chapters. Let's continue this some tomorrow.
What is this? What is this page number? Just to remember.
206. But I will note down. I think I will give all updates
Okay,
with the
thank
page
you.
number, with the chapters, everything I will update in my
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
note. Yeah. Uh, Thank you, team. Thank you, Anjali. Thank you, Suman. Thank you, Manishji, for the wonderful leading for today's chapter. Let's have a quick discussion about learning from today's session. Actually, by seeing the by seeing the title of the previous chapter, I was expecting something, but what it explained in this chapter is something different. Um, okay, please start sharing your inputs.
Even for me also, Rajeshji, I was surprised. It was different content,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
the communication what it speaks about is about the logo mostly. That
yeah,
how
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
companies are communicating. So many logos they give a meaning, but yes, as like Volkswagen or Honda, they simply have a symbol that doesn't
Mm.
explain the why. So I think this is what he was trying to explain, that communicate with the logo itself, and it gives a meaning to, and it attracts the people also. So you have to message, the communication is from the seller to the buyers, that why they should purchase this product, it should be clear. And that is the symbol which is the or the taglines, mostly we call it the taglines that attracts the people. But now he speaks about the logo also, that logo should also be in a way communicative to the customers, that why they should buy this product. And Harley Davidson is a very good example. He said, though, even those people, those who don't own it, they also tattoo it on their body, because Harley Davidson had a what it said about the freedom. It speaks about the freedom, and that is why if you have seen many sports people or many those bodybuilders type, na, they who they want to show that we are free. They tattoo it on their body. That it is speaks about, Harley Davidson speaks about the freedom. I am free. So that is like a very good example how they have communicated their why. But for others, yes, they need to learn this. That logo is also very important. It's a way to communicate.
Yeah, nicely shared, Anjali. I completely agree with that. For example, if we are interested in something and we represent with some logos, by example, I think if you're interested in something, some famous show or some brand, it is also helping to attract people or the like-minded people. By example, I think if you the same logo or something, if you are also interested in that same thing, this is the time it will initiate the conversation and it will initiate discussion among them. I read that one. I was going through the one chapter, something the branding guidelines, and then there's a but the person who is author and he keeps some logos on his laptop. So wherever he goes, he when he opens so the laptop and the top of that laptop side, the one side he keeps some logo. He whatever he interested, something the Liverpool, then something the sports, the football franchisee, he keeps it. That created, I think we don't know the opposite person's what he is interested, but having such logos or something, the stickers, it will help them to connect with others. So this is also one kind of methodology or idea people use it to connect with others and initiate the conversation in the profession side or making them to make a bonding with others. So I think that is what I think the logos, and when we talk about, I think I just remember this one course, what I have gone through that. Yes, and from today's fact chapter also, the author talks mainly about that the why part. People don't buy what you do; they buy why you do it. So he comes on one after another with his the core message. Anyone would like to share your takeaway
Yes, yes, yeah.
from reading? Yeah, Suman.
Yeah, the today's heading was that instead of communication, listening was stressed as per the heading, but the main thing that logo was highlighted. Basically,
Mm.
logos, they are the megaphones that project their why. And it was they underline what I am understanding is that logos are developed after listening to the public. If they don't match the public values, their beliefs, then the logos also do not mean anything. So here it is communication through the logos. They reach to the wide strata of public, and they have that message, but they are in alignment with the listening. That the listening part is of the people, of their customers. That is they represent. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with that. I think when companies making, I think the listening part, I think through that logo they are making us to listen, and through that logo they are going to represent what their values and everything.
Yes.
Do you agree that I think the Harley Davidson they sell to the bike? I think not to everyone. I think they have something. They conduct some interview or I think check with people whether this person is whether they are really he believes in adventures, the freedoms, and show himself as an individual. So they only sell to those people. Is it true? Any
No,
idea?
no, no.
Anyone?
It's the cost is very costly, so not easily affordable. But it is,
Yeah.
yeah, the why they stand for, the why is that I am free. It mostly propagates freedom. So it attracts those, and it is very strong, heavy built also, adventurer, and yes, the freedom lovers who can explore any sort of land, and it is very like on any terrain it can go. It's very strong bike. So that way
Mm-hmm.
it attracts those people or those youngsters mostly, that those who want to be adventurer and who want to just go around the world. Uh, So it is like that. That way they are promoting. It is not that they sell to those people only. No, no, no.
Yeah.
It's a strong way.
There are some brands I think you can see in the business. There are some where actually goal of the business is to not to do business with everyone who needs what you have. I think or whatever the company has. Their goal is to do business with people who believes what they believe. I think this is also applies that some of the thing even I have listened. I have heard something. Some car, so the famous car they give to people, not to everyone. They have check the person's credibility, the person's thing.
It is on
Then
the
they
loan. If they are taking on loan, then that time they check the credibility.
okay.
Big car. And
Okay.
you have like they don't even advertise it on the TV or on the social media.
Yeah,
If you have
yeah,
seen,
yeah.
yes, many brands they don't advertise because they know their brand name itself is Audi is there, Mercedes
Hmm.
is there. We don't see the advertisements on that on TV. But other, because see most of the if we call common people now, they consider the reviews, they go with the advertisements because of poor knowledge, or because like this is the only way to know what the products are available in the market. Maybe so these are the like Maruti Suzuki. It is for the middle class, lower middle class, upper middle class, and if, the affordability is their main reason why they are selling most. The Maruti Suzuki is the most sold car in the market. Why? Because everyone or anyone can afford it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
their main cause, the why is affordability to everyone. Anybody can buy.
Yeah. Budget constraints are
But
there
yeah, so it
basically.
is, yeah, the why is very clear. It catches every customer. It reaches to each and every person because of the affordability thing, because of this money, uh, uh, because everyone thinks on those grounds. But those like for affording a Mercedes or a Audi or a Volkswagen, even Volkswagen is friendly now. But other cars, now other huge brands, they are really, they don't go into advertising because their brand name itself is what attracts people. Only an elite class or only a limited class of people.
Yeah.
See, Walmart in the next chapter, as discussed by the author, the Walmart, it also shifted from their why. Like its main motto, what it started with was that everyone. It was for the like helping people. Everyone can afford it. Affordability for the general customers. But slowly they started working towards growing profit. They started instead of that affordability thought what the who was the owner of that Sam, na? So his main motto was affordability to everyone, common people. But then later on, they started working on the profit making, and that's how that Walmart also it it shifted from its original why to a different why. Uh,
Yeah.
popularity declined because of that. So the main thing the author is trying to focus on is the why. Why should be very strong and it should be consistently maintained. Then the success of the organization is guaranteed.
Yeah. Anyone can explain? I think in today's chapter we have read a lot about the celery test. Can anyone explain on this? I think what you understood on the celery test.
Yeah. Celery is basically that we use in salads, herb. So it was representing the good health, like the person in the mall, he was having just rice milk and celery. And if otherwise he had heard about Oreo biscuits and a lot that they are tasty, they are good. But
Yamandam.
because his why was clear, his why was to have healthy food, and he was having only those two things. And the other people who were when he was in the queue, they were watching that he is having rice milk and celery. It was that yes, his why is clear. He wants only healthy food.
Yeah, I think the next time when we go to the supermarket, I think we have to clear about what we buy. I
Yeah.
think we can also understand the human psychology by seeing that
Yes, yes.
the basket. Okay, by seeing
Yeah.
basket, what is what they
Yeah.
follow,
Yeah, we
what
get
they're
to know. Yes, very
yeah.
true.
I think yeah, that is what I think it reminds me when we are reading that particular one chapter. Good. Good. Anyone have any thoughts about anyone to share?
So basically, it's all about communicating the why, either through logo or the products we are using or showcasing. Everything it has to be a clear why. Communicate your why.
Yeah. So I think that is what I think that is the core message of the chapter.
Yeah.
That is not the speaking, it's listening. I thought something is going to share, but actually what they are communicating. Okay, you listen what we believe. I think we need that customers, or we are looking for the customers who those who believes our value. So when they are focusing on this one, then automatically it attracts people and it increases their business or that revenue.
Mhm.
I'm just writing. Yeah, thank you. I think now time is 8 o'clock. Anyone would like to share any final thoughts, or we can end today's session. Manish, would you like to share anything?
My share is that I had been to Walmart in so many times, and just to and I've seen that the quality of service, the quality of products and things, they vary from a store to store. So in today's reading, when the author mentioned that when he says why, it means when Sam Walton was there, he was able to make people understand that we have to work together. Not that you have to think like an employee and just do your 8 hour job and just go home. You have to take that work as your own work. You are a part of the business. You are not just an employee. You are part of the business. So basically, and we have to work together, and we are standing together in all up and downs. So that way, he was able to inspire people. And when you inspire people, they do everything from the heart. And when they do everything from the heart, the result, the work is very. You can say the work is very like phenomenal, and that's how you get, when you are inspired, you get emotionally connected with your work, that yes, this is my work and I have to do my best. And the same way it comes with your efforts, how you deal with the customer, and how you project your product. You have to make the people understand that this product is not just for that we are just here for business. It is here to make you are giving a good product to the customer at an affordable price. And you focus on the quality, you focus on the service, you make the customer understand that yes, this is what it is meant to be. And how you deal with the customer, sometimes, some people, I have been to the, some people will not listen much, and some people will just okay, say very you can say half-hearted reply. Yes, this is, I don't know, maybe some newcomers, different people work at Walmart. But but the thing is, when the employee is able to make the he's able to explain the product to the customer in a very polite and in a very, you can say, very humorous way, right? So you get connected with the customer, and the customer feel happy about it, that yes, like he's able to understand what the product is and how it is good for him to buy that. So so basically you get connected with the customer in a very friendly way, or emotional way, or in a very, you can say, but you are able to get you get connected with him well, okay, by how you deal with the customer. So that way, that kind of a ownership and that kind of loyalty when the employees have in the business, it really connects with the customer, and the customer feels happy about it, and he's able to uh, make a decision to buy the product. So all thing, they are all connected with the Y factor, right? So, and it's the same way, when because I work with so many people, I make the people know that yes, you are part of the business. You are not just here for few days or something. We have to work forever. We have to work, and we have to go a long way. And you are part of the business. Feel it like your own workplace, your own company,
Right.
and do your best. And we are here to support each other. So that's why, you create a very strong why in your workplace. And then you see people how they feel very they don't feel like fear of, you can say, rejection, or fear of being thrown out of the company. You feel that yes, and you feel like at a home where everybody is supporting each other, and everybody is helping each other to grow to a level that is required by the company on individual level and on a company level also. So that kind of atmosphere is very important, and it all comes from the Y factor. So you have to inspire
Yes.
people to do their best. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, Manish. Yeah. The Y factor plays a major role in organization as well as the personal. Yeah. Anjali, you want to say something?
Yeah, this is what we read yesterday, Rajesh ji. Manish ji, you are right that yesterday we read na CEO should inspire and keep motivating the team.
Mm. Mm,
And
yeah.
he only radiates the why, and the other what and how factor, the team is the one which is working, but they should be continuously motivated, they should be continuously pushed and reminded of the why they are doing it. So that is the role of the leader. So it has to be that consistency only brings success. That why they should not origin is easy, but to maintain that why is very difficult, and that is the work of the top leader, the CEOs, or the whoever is leading the team. They should maintain that why. It is a
Yeah, I think
continuous process. It's
yeah, yeah.
yeah. Mm.
As a leader, I think we have to remind and we have to inspire people why why we are doing this, why we are working together. They have to let them let people know, or let organizations, the employees know, or the family members know about it, why we are doing it, so that everyone aligned. Okay, with this we come to end of today's chapter, or today's session. Let's meet again tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. sharp and continue reading. And we have around 50 more pages. Hopefully, I think we will have to meet another 3 days to complete this book. Thank you once again, everyone, for joining.
Thank you so much, Rajesh ji. It was wonderful session. See you all
Yeah, thank you.
tomorrow.
Thank you, Rajesh. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good day. Yeah, bye.
Good day.